Welcome back, everyone. We've got another one verse one in Beyond All Reason, featuring Pigs, who basically is the Houdini of bad decisions, and Tank Tom, the man who's seen it all and still can't believe what Pigs tries to pull off. Will the currently undefeated for one whole game Pigs work his magic and escape defeat, or is it Tom that's going to turn this into a no-nonsense bout? Let's dive in. I'm Twigs, and I've got Praedyth and Bruticus from All Reason No Logic here with me to witness the madness.
You're joining us on Glacier Pass, which is a small map with a lot of verticality to operate under. Both players starting with bots, which is highly advised because those are able to traverse the hills and open up a lot of attack angles. Tank Tom, very standard opening. Looks like he's going for a constructor, pawns, and some aggravators, with Pigs going two construction bots, so he might actually be moving away from his early aggression. See how he's able to defend against Tom's.
No, it's good to see him mix it up. He goes for a lot of early aggression, so you become a bit predictable if you do that. So mixing it up, he might be able to get that greed out if Tom's not going to be aggressive as well.
Yep. Tank Tom is currently behind by one game, so I expect that he's going to be gunning for a win very hard this time. Pigs is dropping down some blueprints, which is great to see. Using those to get a build queue for one of his construction units very, very quickly. That should keep his eco going well into the mid game. A radar and an LLT coming up to offset the double constructor start. Tank Tom already moving his grunts into positions to deal with some of the paths. This whole area here is traversable, and I've seen a lot of attack paths that involve sending the comm up there to build a high ground LLT.
So by hitting F2 on the legacy keys or F6 on the grid keys, you can see where a unit that you have selected can go. So you can see on my screen or praise by hitting those keys. There's green and darker green, or red cannot be traversed at all.
Yep, so anywhere there's an unbroken red line can't be traversed. Tom sending one pawn out far to see whether Pigs is going for greedy mexes and see if he can catch out a constructor, and the rest heading up front. Though with that LLT up there and the couple of pawns, I don't see any opportunity for early aggression.
He's definitely narrowed down where Pig's starting location is now. It's definitely not in one spot, so it's got to be the other one.
Neck and neck on the economy right now, and it's great to see Pigs using these blueprints.
And units closing the ramp off, which is a great, if you're going to play defensive, that is a great area to close off. No way that one pawn up on the up at the top of the map is going to break through those two LLTs. There's also no room for them to sneak past either. So solid defense by Pigs. Units moving in, the small gap, backing off as soon as he sees the aggravators. Tank Tom with his units slightly more grouped up will get concentrated fire on the pawns, which may or may not be the difference. And if Pigs doesn't engage soon, then those aggravators are going to pick him apart.
Pawns. It's actually done pretty well so far. Dodged some of those shots.
Yep. Tom, knowing that pawn is lost, tried to get it up the hill, but no dice. The aggravator's now going to be a hard target to crack with that continuous fire.
I'd like to see those pawns turn around. Yep, he's doing it now, because pawns, if kited correctly, can dodge all these missiles and do quite a bit of damage against aggravators. I actually favour that engagement.
Even if he loses the pawn, killing a few of those aggravators can go a long way to winning the next fight.
Yep. Tank Tom with his comm on the low ground. I'd love to see him build a defensive LLT at that next mex towards the middle. One LLT will make a pretty big difference. Centurion on the ground. That's going to clean up most of these early bots, if not handled correctly. Commander getting in there, backing up those aggravators and building an LLT. Fortunately, you can't build an LLT under the fire of a Centurion. Let's see if Tom can get that D-gun.
Looks like he will.
Yep.
Oh, maybe.
No, maybe not. But the commander's laser still gets it, and now a big reclaim field for Tom. Huge advantage. 500 medals straight into the bank.
Pigs maybe in a little bit of an old habit, turtling up in his base, not expanding out north, and you can see Tom's done the opposite. He is expanding out north with that constructor and even building some very aggressive metal extractors with no protection. So all it takes is one unit to go up there and scout those and take them out.
Yep. Thankfully, with these metal points being 2.3, it only takes 25 seconds, 24 seconds to repay the cost of the mechs. So not a huge investment provided they stay around for even a short time.
You've got to think about that risk versus reward, and Tom's definitely thought about it.
Yep.
It's paying off.
Tank Tom deciding not to build that LLT after the engagement, I think that's a bit of a mistake. Would have helped him secure the metal pouch.
You've got to be careful with that Centurion on a Tom. It doesn't take too long for a Centurion to stack up damage even on a commander.
Yep.
With a pawn there as well. Although the pawn's focused on the LLT at the moment, which was a mistake.
Would have been great if that pawn had gotten around behind him for the flanking bonus.
Because he could tip that commander's health down, and then he could build a group of pawns and just rush the commander to finish the job.
Looks like Pigs is finally taking his construction bot out to those 3 additional mexes. Hopefully we see some defense going up there so that Tom can't just send a pawn around to take them all. But again, mexes for 25 seconds pay themselves off, so anything after that is bonus. Small engagement, pawns looking to fight those aggravators. I'd like to see Tank Tom pull them back into the range of the LLTs, but he has no power at the moment. Unlike Pigs, he hasn't got a builder in the back line working off of blueprints. He's doing it all manually. 3 pawns break through the line. They're going to get some juicy kills on metal extractors. So good idea for Pigs, knowing that those units probably wouldn't have made it out there alive.
It's definitely going to tip the favour into a more balanced game. Although Tom's eco is starting to come online even faster.
He's splitting them up.
Like a 3 medal difference, but now they're jumping up to 18 to 11.
Yep, he's splitting those up. So he's
oh no, he's just
he buggered that one up.
But I do like that he has learnt that when he can't afford a certain unit, he has just gone to the pawns at the moment and using them quite well.
Yep. Tom with a low ground construction turret to help heal his comm. Actually not a bad idea.
Sadly, Pigs missed on picking off this construction unit. Got him down to 28%, and now it's building an LLT, so he's not quick to finish it.
He can still finish it off. LLT from a construction bot takes quite a long time to build, about 30 seconds or there.
8% on it.
And this is where a fight command comes in real handy, because with a fight command, the unit would have seen that and then engaged it, as compared to running past it. So it looks like that LLT is getting up.
Press F and set a waypoint.
Similarly, this aggravator could have also used a fight command, and it wouldn't have walked into range of the pawn, and nearly lost half of its life. Huge amount of reclaim still available to Tom, but as he doesn't have a metal deficit at the moment, I mean, it certainly isn't the end of the world that he hasn't taken it yet, and that eventually that build turret will collect a lot of it. 1 pawn in Tank Tom's base, absolutely crippling his energy economy. Great to see, considering that Tank Tom was already low on energy.
And Pigs has got it lined up for another go. He's got 3 pawns over here that seem to have gone unnoticed, and there they go, they've activated.
Yep. All of this non-stop aggressive. But, yeah, they're going to get in range of the Twin Guard. I reckon maybe 1 will get through. Bingo. And that 1 is enough to take out a lot of wind.
Probably need to keep out the range of that build turret. We'll see how he goes with that. Unfortunately, I don't see his cursor on the screen.
I mean, it's staying out of the build turret range, so good to go there. Tom with a huge overreaction, sending his entire army back and opening his front up. Big mistake there. You can't send everything back to deal with 1 pawn. Lost all of his LLTs, he's lost his low ground position. He's going to lose all of his low ground mexes. Pigs picking Tank Tom apart.
It was a good call with his construction bot. Good call with the construction bot by Tom, though. He went to reclaim the pawn since he didn't have combat units. It's better than nothing. At least you might be able to get rid of that threat if they're not paying attention.
Tank Tom, low on build power.
You can see how much not killing a constructor does. Already built the LLT and 3 mexes back up.
Yep. But unfortunately, he's very low on build power, and he's overreacting with 4 build turrets. He does not have the wind to sustain that. At best, I would say 2.
Looks like Pigs is going for an air transition as well. He's still got his bot lab up, producing pawn, and he's going for an air lab as well.
Yep.
He's actually got enough pawns to win this game if he rushes in there.
Yes, he does. Tom just leaving his units out of position constantly.
Couple of thugs are joining the battle now.
This hyper aggression just picking Tank Tom apart. LLT is not going to be enough against 12 pawns.
Unfortunately, Pigs is moving his commander away from the air lab. If you actually wanted to utilise it quickly, it would have been better to use the commander's build power there. Pardon me.
Given he's doing an air transition, I don't like that he just wasted those units. You need to keep those units there for the defense.
Yep.
Going into the gunship, so they're going to get probably one-time use. Or not liking this. If you are Pigs, there are 14 thugs out on the field.
Yep.
Very quickly.
So 17 pawns and the thugs are in a line. The pawns are in a group. Those pawns can actually crash on through as long as they don't run into the comm and get degunned.
As long as they don't bunch up too much.
Yep. Or spread out too much. Though that group going around the outside, they're meeting some LLT resistance, and they still have to get past that twin guard. Don't love this quite so much by Pigs. The constant aggression is good, but you have to acknowledge when it's time to scale as compared to throw units at a wall.
Considering the damage he's done, he's actually it's a bit hard to see who's eco of the reclaim going at the moment, but I think Tom is ahead by 2.
Yep. So Tom with the slight lead. But Pig's capable of getting a lot of that reclaim, and he's gone hard on the LLTs in the low ground, and Tom's fighting in their range, which is not what we want to see at the moment.
Unfortunately,
he's not going to be able to snipe the comm, not with those few thugs, not in LLT range. Just letting more and more of them die to those pawns. Pigs just with continuous pressure. Pawns into pawns into pawns. The amount of those things you can kick out when you've got this many mechs. Tom really has to build up his units or his defenses, but instead he's gone T2, which he just doesn't have the eco to support.
Pig's got to watch out here. This is a good, easy way to snipe us. Con, we're going to get us around, and this might be GG.
As long as Tank Tom keeps walking forward, that's GG.
Simple as that. Keep your commander out of position on low health, and you're committing bar suicide.
Yeah,
that was a good to and fro, though.
Yeah, very good to and fro. Both players really fighting hard over that low ground in front of Pig's base.
Guys, that was a closer one than we expected. Pigs turtling up there at the start, but then getting the confidence to go out, and continuous pushes with those pawns were great. Tom obviously on the T2 transition now, so there wasn't much time left, but unfortunately Pigs, commander was low health. Instead of maybe pulling him back a bit or just reclaiming metal, you sent him in to be very aggressive without any support around him. Bit of a no-no, and that cost you the game.
But one of the things
I was pushing, I knew I was on a time limit.
One of the things that we loved seeing through that game was the way you split up those pawns. When you got 3 through the canyon, you sent 1 to the Mexus down the bottom and the other 2 up to the top of the hill. Absolutely took out all of Tom's undefended expansion. Even managed to sneak one of those pawns into the back line and take out a lot of his power generation. Very powerful with just a couple of move commands. Shows what the right idea and the right macro can do.
Yeah. And then one last tip on this one, good air transition, but probably took a little bit too long to produce gunships out of the air lab once the lab was built, and that's because of its location of being built. It was unassisted by any construction turrets, so they were taking about a minute to come out each gunship. If you got out a few straight away, I would probably like to have seen maybe one of those groups of pawns just kept back for a bit of defense, focus on getting maybe a few of those out, and you probably could have gone for the comm snipe there with the gunships. But anyway, it was a close one. Now for the lovely plug that we always do, please like and subscribe. It helps us grow this channel, gives us the motivation to put more videos out, and of course also if you ever got a replay that you want to see featured on the channel, please drop it into our Discord replays panel on and the link is below in the description of the video if you want to join our Discord.
Absolutely.
Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll catch you next time.
Bye for now.